Now, we must immediately get into some Joe Rogan quotes. I know you like Joe. I like Joe as well. I really don't dislike him. But he did say something very stupid that I want to address, which pertains to Alex Pereira and John Jones competing at the UFC White House card. So here's his quote. It's a bit of a long one, but in order to not paraphrase, I'll read it all to you. So he said on the topic of making a big spectacle at the UFC White House card, who would be the best John Jones opponent? Rogan says it would be Alex. The Tom Aspinall matchup hasn't sailed, but the big money fight is Alex and John at the White House. Are you kidding me? Catch weight, make it 225 pounds. Alex is still the light heavyweight champion. Make it a catch weight fight. It doesn't have to be for the title. Make it the BMF upper edition. You have the BMF belt for the 155ers. Who is the real BMF? Do you think any one of those guys can beat Alex Pereira? You think you can get a 155 pounder in there against Alex Pereira? Does Max Holloway survive against Alex Pereira? No, shut the up. That's the bad. He goes on to say the John Jones Alex Pereira fight will probably be the biggest fight in human history in mixed martial arts. As a matchup, you've got the greatest of all time in John Jones and arguably the most destructive striker that's ever competed. No one is like that guy. Now, I must really quickly just jump into the second chapter of that Joe Rogan quote, which is, do you think Max Holloway and any 155er can survive in there against Alex Pereira? I could make the claim that most of these people from the lower weight classes wouldn't survive against Jamal Pogues, or some of these heavyweights, right? I don't think that that's an entirely fair standard because we have weight classes for a reason, and that's why they are where they are. You could put a light heavyweight up against a very good bantamweight. Probably the light heavyweight's going to win, even if they've never touched the title. I don't know. That's the pound for pound discussion is so subjective and stupid. But I just think that's again a dumb thing from Joe Rogan. I think that it's also dumb to say that this is the big money fight, Alex versus John. There is such little interest in Alex Pereira versus John Jones. Such little interest. Such little interest in Khamzat Chimaev taking on Alex Pereira. I don't see it. If it's there, if there is interest and there's this huge audience that is clamoring for Alex Pereira to fight either John or Khamzat, I have not seen it. And I am chronically online. So I feel like if there was an appetite for either of these matchups, it'd probably be something I'd have a bit of an inkling in. Yeah, biggest fight in human history. Come on, Joe. Come on, Joe. There's been boxing matches that have sold 90,000 tickets. Boxing matches in the early 20s, 30s, 40s that had hundreds of thousands. I mean, there's those Jack Dempsey, who's the guy? Joe Dempsey. Again, I'm not great at boxing history, but I saw a picture of one of his fights where it was like the widest wide shot I've ever seen, and it looked like standing room only for a mile, right? So how can you tell me that disgraced former champ John Jones and Alex Pereira is going to be the biggest fight in human history? Come on, let it go. Just let it go. Also, the insistence to slap a BMF title on this. Look, one BMF title is bad enough. We don't need two. Why make more? I think the BMF title works as a solo thing between some of the lighter weight class strikers. I think that's all well and good, but having two BMF belts, guy who's the top a third BMF belt from hitting the UFC's roster, right? I don't know. It just is a stupid quote, and I get Joe when he's doing these podcasts will go on for hours and we'll just kind of speak off the dome. But I think this is such a dumb quote. Like, again, how are you going to tell me that John Jones and Alex Pereira is going to be bigger than Conor McGregor and Khabib Nurmagomedov? 4.5 million pay-per-view buys, sold out, so many people tuning in, right? But nothing is ever going to be bigger than that fight. And that's just in the UFC. So biggest fight in human history. Get out of town. Get out of town. I just don't think so. So yeah, John Jones, I don't think will be fighting Alex Pereira. But again, I don't think, maybe, I wouldn't like to see it. I don't think John should have a UFC White House opportunity. He's currently in Thailand doing some Russian Ultimate Fighter. So clearly not training, clearly not preparing. You know, that's that.